welcome to Seen Through Glass. Welcome to my Porsche 718 Cayman S. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sam. Make sure you subscribe for future videos similar to this one. If you are a returning subscriber, give this video a thumbs up now because it will help people find it and see it. This car has now done over 10,000 miles. I'll be honest, when I collected it, it had 3,000 miles on the clock already. I bought it used from Porsche Guildford. It was one of their ex-demonstrator cars. But I've been responsible for adding 7,000 miles in the past 5 months. And what a varied 7,000 miles it has been. I drove the car down to Barcelona in Spain for F1 testing, driven it all around the UK, drove it over to Paris, but the majority of the miles have been done in and around London. And now I've hit such an important mile marker, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk you through what it's like to live with a 718 Cayman S. Now I want to kick things off outside the car, talking about the way it looks, because I think it's very important if you're going to live with a car to like the way it looks. And luckily I love the design of the 718. I actually much prefer it to the previous generation, the 981 Cayman. I think this one's a little bit more angular, a bit more purposeful looking. Now, something you need to know about my car is that it's insanely highly spec'd. The Cayman S starts at just under £55,000 here in the UK, but this car, from new, £70,000. In fact, it's got almost the same options as the new GTS has, except the upgrades in power. I've got the Sport Design Pack, which is a different front and rear bumper. You can see the black lines that just make it look a bit more sporty, hence the Sport Design Pack. I've got the 20-inch Carrera wheels, red brake calipers, the LED Porsche headlights. I've got the Porsche Active Suspension Management, which lowers the car by 20 mils. Sports chrono, little black struts for the wing mirrors, tinted rear lights, a very nice black interior, lots of different tech. It's fully kitted, fully loaded. But visually, as I say, I think the presence on the road is fantastic. And for what should be a £50,000 sports car, I think you're definitely getting bang for your buck there. Two additional things I wanted to quickly clear up for those of you that might be new to the channel. That is not a Porsche paint colour, that's a vinyl wrap on my car. It was done by the guys at Yanamize here in the UK, and it's called Avery Gloss Dark Green. The paint underneath is Porsche Crayon. It's like an off-white, chalky grey type colour. And secondly, you'll find a lot of videos on my channel talking about the exhaust for this car, and we're going to get into it a little bit later in this video. But to clarify, that is the Porsche Sports exhaust, which was spec'd for this car. It's not an aftermarket system. Right, let's get into what it's like to live with this car. Now, I bought it 5 months or so ago to be my daily, to run alongside my Ferrari 360 Modena. It's frankly quite ridiculous because this is a £70,000 sports car, but it is so capable. It's essentially a really quick Volkswagen Golf. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it just does everything so well. I've got a massive boot at the front that seems to be able to fit endless things in it, but I've also got one at the back. Porsche were like, well, because of the mid-engine layout, we give you some extra space back here for some leather driving gloves. And so I never run out of space to put things. Even in the cabin, I've got endless sort of cubby holes and glove boxes and compartments for whatever I might need them for. It's really good on a long distance journey, this thing. In fact, when I drove it down to Barcelona, I got an 800-kilometer range out of one tank. That's 500 miles! 35.6 mpg I think I was averaging, and whilst that might not sound that impressive to you, I do not remember another sports car I've driven that's given me that kind of fuel economy. It's blown me away. In town, I never seem to get anywhere close to that. I'm lucky if I see 250-mile range from a tank, and this morning I've been averaging 21 mpg, but all in all, it's a very economic car to use and to drive. It's very comfy as well. I mean, the roof's a bit low and my seat feels a bit high, but the seats are very supportive and I've never got out with any kind of back pain or cramp. I've got all the infotainment set up that I might need. Apple CarPlay kind of annoys me, so most of the time I'm on DAB radio or streaming Bluetooth. I've got the Bose surround sound system in here. It's the sort of mid-level speaker setup and it's pretty freaking good if I'm honest. This car even has internet, but I don't really know how to use it. I've got heated seats, dual air conditioning, everything you would expect from a £70,000 car. There are a few niggles on the interior. I've got quite a few rattles, and that could be down to the fact that this is an ex-demonstrator car that was probably given quite a hard life before I picked it up, but still, I was expecting a little bit better from Porsche. Also, something really frustrating is that the passenger seatbelt is always knocking against the side of the car. It just feels like a really bizarre oversight that I didn't expect from the Germans. It's not doing it right now, but the majority of the time I'm filming, I actually plug that passenger seatbelt in to stop it from rattling around. Now, most of the time in London, I'm in the normal driving settings. It's quite rare that I go into sport until I come out to roads like this. I very rarely go into Sports Plus. That's because this car is so quick, I don't feel like I need that extra performance unless I'm really driving, either on track or on some amazing European road where there's very little traffic. Normal and sport seems to do everything I need it to do. And do you know what? That would be, I guess, my biggest criticism and compliment of this car. It's so good as being a sort of everyday run around daily, I sometimes forget how capable or how good it is as being a sports car. It is so quick, this thing, and I probably use its speed about 5% of the time. I do mundane tasks in it. I go to the food shop, I pick my girlfriend up from work, and I use it to get to filming locations, and it's really good, but just kind of that. And that's the thing I'm surprised by. It's my first ever Porsche that I've owned, and it doesn't really make me laugh and giggle. It just makes me think it's bloody freaking good. If anyone ever asks, I'm always like, yeah, it's really good. And it's really quick. It is so quick, especially on an English A or B road. This thing just gathers speed and eats up the miles. There's this weird thing with the accelerator pedal where I feel like I'm never using enough of it. You have to really, it just keeps on going, and so do the revs. For a turbocharged engine, our red line's over 7,000 RPM, so I forget, you just keep pushing on. If you turn the suspension management, the PASM, onto the harder setting, it is quite hard, but in the softer setting, it's really nice. Quite a lot of noise in the cabin, a lot of road noise, that I do really pick up on, and because the engine tone and exhaust tone isn't that nice, I feel like it's kind of shaking the car apart every now and again. But even on the motorway, I'm aware that when I'm on a Bluetooth phone call or when I'm listening to music, there's just a sort of a lot of road noise. But these are all little niggles, these are all sort of pointless complaints that I'm trying to find to make this video less biased, because as an owner of this car, I'm only ever going to be biased. It's fantastic, the 718 Cayman. It's going to be forever overlooked because of the 4-cylinder turbocharged engine they put in it, but it just does everything perfectly. I've driven it in the snow, I've driven it on mud, I've driven it in sunshine, I've driven it in rain, and I've driven it in many different countries, and I can't fault it. Will it be a car I keep forever? No, it's unlikely. I don't feel like I have much emotional attachment to it, but it's brilliant for what I need right now in my life. Now, I would have much preferred to film this video in London. Firstly, it's where I do the majority of my miles in the 718, but I also wanted to demonstrate how good its size is for parking and just general in-town manoeuvrability. But traffic in London these days is crap, so I've come out here to the countryside, and I am sat by a main road, so apologies if some traffic drives behind the camera during this shot. Something's dawned on me whilst filming this video. I really underutilised that car. It is a fully fledged, mid-engined Porsche sports car, and I use it like a 1.9 litre diesel to do really boring stuff in. Maybe I haven't got the emotional connection with that thing because I've only scratched the surface of what it's capable of doing performance-wise. We know it's great on a daily basis, but I've very rarely gone into Sports Plus. I've
very rarely found a road where I've really been able to thrash it on. Even my drive down to Barcelona, that was all on the motorway. In fact, I would say that 85% of the 10,000 miles that car's done have been in traffic or on the motorway. Very little actually being thrashed. So maybe I need to take it on track or take it back into Europe and find a really good mountain road, and maybe I'll see a whole nother side to that car. But I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing that I actually really like it and just to potter around in, just to use on an everyday basis. It's maybe a car of two sides, and there's maybe a side I haven't seen of it yet, but that's not a negative thing. Anyway, I hope you found this video informative. If you're looking to buy a 718 Cayman, I can only say positive things about it, despite maybe not having actually experienced all of it, weirdly, even though I'm an owner of it and I've done 10,000 miles on it. If you are a returning viewer, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are a new viewer, make sure you're subscribed for plenty more videos to come.